Okay, so this house is a pretty big house. I had someone living in here that's from Section 8, and they had probably 5 or 6 kids. I can't remember the exact amount, but they were here for a number of years. Generally, they were pretty good tenants. Occasionally, we would have some issues, as any landlord would have. Didn't think much of it. So today is August 2022, and in January there was an emergency situation where a fire department was called. Uh, that was a result of a boiler system that was overheating, and it was really really hot. I want to say like 500-600 degrees. It might be less. This was in January, so my memory's not that great on it as far as the exact temperature of the boiler. But it was an emergency situation where the house could have burnt down. So I called a plumber, and we had it replaced within a couple days. It was kind of a expensive event. It was over the weekend, and we got it done and fixed. And they got heat again in January. It gets pretty cold here, but luckily that during that week, if I remember right, it wasn't too bad. So luckily the tenants were okay on that. But in any event, they've moved out uh, because I asked them to. I gave them a 60 days notice. They were pretty upset with me about it, but I saw the place in January, and it was packed full of things. And I even called housing to see if it's something that housing makes them do to clean up the place or keep it tidy. And in general, they said no, unless it's like something that's dangerous to the kids or to anyone else that's in there. Then maybe they can enforce. But in general, just being cluttered and dirty, they can't really enforce much, which was surprising to me because in the past they've had pretty strict guidance with their tenants to where they need to keep it clean. But in any event, they're out now. They left quite a mess. I want to show you guys the property inside. And we've been here for a couple days now cleaning it up, but there's still quite a bit of a mess. So let's go and take a look and see what's left. Okay, they left a car here that we probably need to tow. Look at the garage. It's just full of stuff. It's a fire hazard. It smells terrible. The freezer and fridge were unplugged by the tenant, and rotting food was inside, so it smelled awful, and we cleared that out. I can still smell remnants of it, but yeah, let's walk around and see if we can get in. Okay, so it's a lot better in here than when I first looked at it in January. A lot less clutter initially. So the living room still has a lot of canned food and things that she probably got from the food bank, shelters. Got a fan going for the smell. This was all cluttered when I was here earlier in the year. You couldn't even get through to the store earlier in the year. There was so much stuff packed up to the top. Okay. I mean, just the cleanup job here is going to cost a fortune. Back to the living room there. It does not smell good in here. Wow. I remember these rooms. It was full of stuff before. I mean, they just did not take care of the property. Strange. When I was here in January, this was, if I remember right, a kid's room with bunk beds. Maybe it's downstairs. A lot of stuff that we need to get rid of. Okay, so back to the living room area. There's a basement. Let's look at the back here. Oh my gosh. Let's go out there and take a look. Look at all the trash that people just leave. It's like a serious amount of money. And they gotta leave and start over. Or ask for stuff from donations. I gave her 60 days notice, so she had adequate time to get all her stuff and take anything that she wanted. But man, let's look downstairs. So the boiler was down here where there was a major problem. Funny story down here. So when the firefighters were here, this was packed full of stuff down here with terrariums and whatnot. They said they saw lizards walking around in here because they just let them go and just roam all over the place. So hopefully they took those lizards with them. And they weren't big ones, just small ones roaming around the house. So it's kind of wild. It smells awful in here. Goodness. So I ordered I want to say 18-yard dumpster to be brought to the property so we can just start throwing stuff away, because this is all considered abandoned because it's past the 10 days in the lease that we deemed stuff to be abandoned after 10 days. Like a lot of nice, that this is pretty nice if it's all fixed up and cleaned up. Just left in for us to throw away or repurpose, depending on some of our guys, see if they want to repurpose that. And this was in here was the new furnace we had to put in. Pretty nice. All right, turn on some lights. Just mess everywhere. Gosh. Oh, this is a laundry room. Just wild how much stuff that they have. And before anyone asks, the number one question people always ask me is, how do people live like this? How do people able to survive in such a clutter? It happens all the time. And it's probably happening in your neighborhood somewhere. Whether it be less income or more income tenants, doesn't matter. It's always something. And from what my maintenance guys told me, that they were negligent with firearms and they discharged a shotgun right there. Yeah, that hole's from a shotgun. And luckily no one got hurt, but seriously, come on now. And that's the house. So we got a lot of work to do. Probably gonna have to recarpet the whole house, and then try and rent it out as soon as we can. This is insane. I can't believe it. Let's turn off some lights and let's see on our way out, see if we can find anything else. Let's take a peek at the garage here from this perspective. And we were bagging up trash already. So the front yard, backyard, those bags, that was us. And we already took all the food from the refrigerator into the city dump already. Gosh. Alright. Well, next time I'll have another house. Hopefully it's not as bad as this, but you never know. And we'll see what we find. Thanks for watching.